Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the modern nesting baskets. This video is part of a 3-video series. So we're going to be focusing today on this medium-sized basket. We have a small, a medium, and a large size, and each video will focus on a different size. So be sure and check out the smaller size and the larger size video as well. Now this basket measures approximately 5 inches across and it's about 2.5 inches tall. And then each one of these little baskets fits nicely together as part of a set. So let's get started. For this project, you'll need a 9mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a tapestry needle. The yarn I'll be using is called Strata by Red Heart. This is kind of a new yarn on the market. And I have here the navy, the gray, and the coral. I just want to point out too that the nesting baskets are part of a set. So this is the yarn I use for the entire set. But there are 3 videos. There's a small, medium, and large. So, but this is the total yarn for the entire set of them. Okay, so what we're going to do for this size, this is the medium size. We've done the smaller one, and we're going to make it so that this one can fit into the one we're about to make. Okay, so we're building our set. So this one is going to have a blue bottom and a gray top. Now, obviously you can use any color combination you like, but if you're trying to replicate it, we're going to be doing the navy as our bottom part and then the gray as the top part. So what we're going to do, now you'll find, if you're making these along with me as a set, you'll find that the patterns for these are very similar, except the base is going to be a little bit bigger for this one, and so it's going to make, overall it's going to make it a little bit bigger. So what we want to do is the same thing. We're going to wrap the yarn around our fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook, bring up a loop, and tighten. Now what we're going to do is the same thing we did before. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to join in the chain farthest from our hook with a slip stitch. So insert the hook into the chain farthest from the hook, bring up a loop. Now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, and you have your ring. Now we can weave this in as we go along, and it'll also, by pulling on that tail when it's woven in, will help close up the hole in the middle too. Okay, so what we need to do is chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to work a half double crochet into the first, as our first stitch. If you're unfamiliar with this stitch, like I mentioned when we made the smaller basket, I do have a separate video on the half double crochet stitch. So if you need to practice that a little bit, then you can watch that other video. And it goes into that in more in depth. So what we're going to do is we're going to work half double crochets. So this counts as one of our stitches, our chain 2 that we did at the beginning of the round. And we're going to work 5 half double crochets into the center of the ring. Okay, so to make a half double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert the hook into the center of the ring, bring up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap yarn around hook and bring it through all 3 loops on the hook. Okay, so that's 1. Now we're going to make 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so what we need to do now is where we began here. This is what is our starting chain at the beginning of the round. We're going to count 2 chains up. So insert the hook into that chain, bring up a loop. Now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. So we just joined with a slip stitch. Now what you can do is grab this tail and pull it really tight to kind of close up that hole a little bit, and it'll kind of line everything up a little bit nicer too. Okay, so let's begin round 2. So we just completed round 1. Let's begin round 2. So what we're going to do is once again chain 2, and then this first stitch that we come to, we're going to work a half double crochet into that first stitch. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And then in each remaining stitch around, we're going to work 2 half double crochets. Okay, let me get a little bit more yarn here. So in the next stitch, work 2 half double crochets. and in each stitch thereafter. So, whoops, so 2 half double crochets, next stitch, 2 half double crochets, next stitch, 2 half double crochets, next stitch, once again 2 half double crochets, and our last stitch. And same thing when we worked this basket. This is going to be the center of the bottom of our basket. So you can see in the smaller size, we're working this part right now. Okay, so we're going to work outward, then we're going to work upward. Okay. So what we want to do is the same thing we did in the previous round. Count your 2 chains up and join with a slip stitch to close the round. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So round 2 is complete. Okay, and you can kind of pull this tail a little bit tighter if you need to. Okay, so let's move on to round 3. So for round 3, we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now this first stitch that you come to, work a half double crochet into that first stitch. In the next stitch, we're going to work 2 half double crochets this time. So 1 and 2. And now we're just going to keep repeating this sequence that we've established. So in the next stitch, work a half double crochet. In the next stitch, work 2 half double crochet. So 1 and 2. In the next stitch, work 1 half double crochet. In the next stitch, work 2 half double crochet. So 1 and 2. Next stitch, 1 half double crochet. The stitch after that, work 2 half double crochet. So 1 and 2. Next stitch, work 1 half double crochet. And I'm just going to get a little bit more yarn as we continue. So we just did 1. Now we're in the next stitch, we're going to work 2 half double crochet. Okay? So 1 and 2. And we're coming up to the end. So work 1 half double crochet in that stitch. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch to close the round. And we can kind of straighten that out. It'll get a little bit kind of folded and wrinkled, and you know, we'll straighten all that out. Okay, so round 3 is complete. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to work a half double crochet in the first stitch, like that, a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. So we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around as well. So half double crochet, 2 half double crochet. Let's do that again. Half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, all the way around. Let's get some more yarn. We're using a big hook and some chunky yarn, so we're going to move through our yarn pretty quick. Okay, so we just did 2, so we're back to 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochet. And we'll just do this all the way around till we run out of stitches. 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 2 half double crochet. And we're back to the beginning. So I just worked 1 double crochet in that last stitch because that was next in our sequence. Okay. All right, we're back to where we started. And you know, we can just straighten this out a little bit and get it nice and, you know, flat to the table. Okay, so next we're back to where we started. We're going to insert the hook in that second chain up, same thing we've done for every other round, and bring that loop through the loop already in your hook. So close with a slip stitch, okay? So round 4 is complete. Let's move on to round 5. Okay, round 5, we're going to chain 2, work a half double crochet into that first stitch that you come to, work a half double crochet in the next stitch, work a half double crochet in the next stitch. So the first 3 stitches we're going to work our half double crochet. Then we're going to work 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so the sequence that we just did, we're going to repeat all the way around. So let's go on to that next sequence. So half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and in that next one you'll work 2 half double crochet in the same stitch, okay, just like that. So half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, and then 2 in the next stitch, just like that. Okay. All right, so half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, all in that same stitch. Okay, let's do that again. Half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, and then 2 in the same stitch. Okay, half double crochet, and now we are back to where we started. Okay, so count 2 chains up and join with a slip stitch to close. Okay, so round 5. Okay, round 6 for our medium-sized basket is the last round of our base, and then we'll start working up the sides. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did, chain 2, whoops, there we go, chain 2, then we're going to work a half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches this time. Okay, so 1, 2, get a little bit more yarn, 3, and 4. Okay, now work 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and a half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get a little bit more yarn here, and then 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, all in that same stitch. Okay, work a half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. So you can notice each round we're adding an extra. So the previous round we did 3 half doubles, and then we did our 2 in 1 stitch. Now we're going up to 4. Okay, so we're just doing this all the way around. I'm working my 2 half double crochets in that one, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. Work 2 half doubles in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then in each of the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Work 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And work your half double in the next stitch, work a half double in the next stitch, and we're getting to where we started. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, just count 2 chains up and join with a slip stitch to close the round. Okay, so once you get everything all straightened out, you can lay it down. So now we're going to begin to work the sides. So it's actually going to look like this, and we're going to build the sides up. And you can double check with your small nesting basket just to make sure it's going to fit. So I think it's going to give us a little bit of give so we can slide it right down in there and nest the baskets. Okay, so next we're going to start to build the sides. We're going to work 2 more rounds in this navy blue color, and then we're going to switch to our gray color. Okay, so if you made the smaller basket, you'll find that the sides are the exact same way. All right, so what we're going to do is, hold on, I pulled my stitch out here because it looked funny. Okay, so let me just rejoin. Okay, so what we're going to do is chain 2, 1, 2, and then to do the sides is very easy. We're just going to work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around our basket. Okay, so I'm just going to work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, just like that. All right, I am going to continue around and we'll rejoin towards the end of this round, and then I'll show you how to move on to round 8. Round 8? Yes, round 8. Okay? So this is round 7, and we'll move on to round 8. So I'm just working a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and you can see when we set this down, we're already getting some sides built up. Okay? So I'm going to keep going around and we'll rejoin towards the end of the round. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the round, and I just wanted to join same way we've been doing with a slip stitch. Okay, so already our nesting basket is looking very much like a basket. The sides are starting to come up, and this will have, as you can see with this one, it has kind of a curved base. It's not going to be very geometric. It's a nice soft transition. So at this point, see this tail in the middle? You can go ahead and pull that tight and trim if you haven't already. I'm just going to cut that off. And then we're going to continue. This is the end of round 7. We're going to continue with round 8 and stick to the same color because we want that same color block effect. Okay? So what we're going to do is chain 2. 1, 2, and then do the same thing we've been doing the whole time. Work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around for this round. And then we're going to be soon, after this round, we'll switch to the gray and continue the sides of our basket. Okay? So I'm just going to work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and once we get towards the end of this round, I'm going to show you how to finish this round, and I'm going to show you also how to rejoin, or not rejoin, but join the new color on, and then we can continue building up the sides of our basket. Okay? So I'm going to keep going, and we'll rejoin towards the end of this round. Okay, so here is the home stretch of round 8. And then we're going to just rejoin or join with a slip stitch. I keep saying rejoin when I mean join today for some reason. We're going to join with a slip stitch in that second chain up. Same thing we've done for every other round. So round 8 is complete, and you can see the size is growing because these are going to nest. I'm going to cut my blue yarn now, and we're going to join with the gray yarn to do the remainder of our basket. So go ahead and fasten off just like that. And at this point, if you've already made the smaller basket, you can just kind of double check and just see how your your little baskets are nesting together, and they're fitting together quite nicely. Now I know the top of this is blue and this is blue, so it's kind of difficult to see the contrast at this point, but we're going to continue with the gray, and then when they nest, they'll really look nice together. There'll be more of a contrast. Okay, so we can grab our gray yarn and begin round 9. Now round 9 again will be in gray. So, and we have 2 rounds left. So round 9 and round 10 we'll do the gray. Okay, so what we want to do now, I want to point out that if you have a preferred method that you like to use when you join yarn, that's wonderful. Definitely feel free to do that. I like to just cut my yarn and tie the new one right on, but it's totally up to you if you have an alternative method that you like better. Okay, so that last stitch that we worked right here, see it's right by our knot. Insert the hook into that stitch. Now bring the new yarn through. And this gray just gives, these are pretty bold colors, so this gray just kind of calms everything back down. Okay, so tie your yarn right on. Now wait a minute, my end is a little bit unraveled and it's going to get caught. So I'm just going to give that a fresh cut. Sometimes when you buy yarn, you have to give it a fresh cut before you begin working. Just depends on the yarn. Okay, so tie that right on, and now we're ready to begin working. Now what you can do is, this is our working yarn. I'm gonna get it out of the way for a minute. These 2 tails here that you have, you can hold those along the edges you work and weave those in as you make your stitches, or you can kind of just get them out of the way for a moment. I'm gonna kind of get them out of the way so you can see everything very clearly. Okay, so what we wanna do is get our working yarn. The working yarn is the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball. Okay, insert your hook back into that same stitch where you tied the yarn on and bring up a loop. Now chain 2, and now we're ready to continue. Okay, so now we're ready to begin. And again, you can hold these tails at the end or just let them hang down. All right, so insert your hook back into that same stitch where you tied the yarn on, bring up a loop, and chain 2. Now we're ready to continue, and we're just going to work this round the same way we've worked the previous rounds for the sides of our basket, okay? So work a half double crochet into that first stitch, a half double crochet into the next stitch, and in every stitch all the way around our basket. So we're starting to now also get a color block effect on our medium basket. And I just think these colors just work so beautifully together. You have a warm, a cool, a neutral. They're all very modern looking and very clean and fresh looking. I just really like these colors together. And the Strata yarn comes in a lot of really pretty colors. If you check out my Yarn 101 on the Strata yarn, you can see all the colors that it comes in and learn all of the information. And it is machine washable as well. Okay, so I'm just working a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So what I'm going to do is continue to work this round in the gray. And once we get towards the end, I'll show you how to move on from round 9 onto round 10, which is our final, whoops, I have a little piece of fuzz there, which is our final round of our medium-sized basket. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going and we'll rejoin in just a moment. Okay, so we're at the end of round 9 and we're right back where we started. So count your 2 chains up once again, same thing we've been doing. And mine is a little bit snug, but that's okay. You might have to kind of wiggle it a little bit. It's being a little stubborn. There we go. Okay, so join with the slip stitch. Okay, so it looks very nice. Let me get everything straightened out because I want to show you. Just have to shape it up a little bit. When you hold something in your hand and you work it, it gets all crumpled up. So then when it's time to set it down, you might have to straighten it out a bit. Okay, so our Our baskets are nesting very, very nicely. They fit together beautifully, okay? So our final round, we're going to chain 2 and work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Same thing. Now I'm going to work a couple of stitches and then we're going to nest these baskets back together because I want to show you something to keep in mind while you're making this project. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because everybody has different tension. Everybody holds their hook differently. Everyone manipulates their yarn just a little bit differently. We're all making the same stitches, but it could account for slight variations in size, especially if you are substituting yarn or substituting your hook. But there's still, a rule of thumb you want to keep in mind. Let's pull our hook out for just a moment. Get all these little ends out of the way. Get everything nice and shaped back up. Okay, so this is our final round, and I just want to point out, you want your nesting baskets, see how they're about the same. Now we haven't finished this round yet, but see that what we've done so far, it's about the same height. You want them to be about the same height. So when they nest, they're just going to nest all, together. You don't want to be one to be tall and one to be short and to be all crooked. You want your baskets to be, about the same height, okay? So as you're working, just kind of double check yourself to make sure things are fitting together, things are the correct height, etc. So what I'm going to do is keep working my half double crochets all the way around the perimeter of the top of this basket. And then we're going to rejoin. I'm going to show you how to finish off your medium-sized nesting basket. So it's getting very exciting because our nesting baskets are starting to come together, and we just have the large one to make, which we will be making in the next video. I chose to do separate videos because I think one long video would be so super long. So I kind of broke it apart a little bit so you can pace yourself a little bit. Okay? So I will finish this round and we'll rejoin in just a moment. Okay, we're at the last stitch here. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to rejoin with a slip stitch to finish that off. Okay, just like that. Now grab your scissors and you can cut because you will be finished at this point. So go ahead and fasten off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to weave our ends. Now I didn't weave mine in as I went along on this section, so I'll have to weave those in now. So let me grab my tapestry needle and then we'll go ahead and weave those ends. So when you have see how this end is gray? You want to weave it into the gray section only. You don't want to try and weave this through the blue section as well because it'll really stick out and not look very nice. Okay, so weave, thread your tapestry needle. Now flip it to the inside, okay? And then go in one direction. Now, I mentioned this for the smaller basket tutorial, but if you didn't watch it, that's okay. You can I just wanted to point out this particular yarn is a tube. It's like a knitted tube. So you don't want to go in between it because it's going to be tough to get your the eye of your needle through that. So I'm going really slow. Slower than I normally go because I don't want to go in between those strands because it'll get stuck. And I must have gone through one of them because my needle is stuck. Let's see. Just be very careful because it will get snagged a little bit. There we go. I went through that. We might need to go one at a time with this particular yarn. It's just the nature of it because it's a knitted tube. It's usually with yarn that's plied, and that's where, strands are twisted together. You can go in between the plies and it doesn't really matter, but for this where it's knitted, the little strands are much tinier and it's a little bit too tiny for a tapestry needle. Okay, so I wove it in and then we can just trim. And then I'll go ahead and weave those ends in later as well. So just get everything all straightened out and get your little basket, and you can see they are nesting perfectly. There's a little bit of give. You don't want to have to shove it in there. You just want to kind of lay it down in there very nicely. And our basket has a nice rounded effect. It makes like a really pretty bowl. Okay. So now our small basket is complete, our medium basket is complete, and we're ready to work on our large basket for our nesting set. Okay, so that is how you crochet the medium nesting basket of our set. So thanks so much for watching, and definitely stay tuned for the third part of our series where we're going to be making the larger basket. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.